Howdy, Scott in Colorado here. Thought I'd share a story with you. This is not a police story. I had given a ride to someone who worked out in the oil field, who was a geologist, far out, about an hour and a half south of town, out into the desert. I traveled on pavement for about an hour, and then traveled about 30 minutes, maybe 45 minutes, on dirt roads into the oil and gas fields. There was a power plant about 60 miles or so south of me. This is in about 3:30 in the morning. And I knew it was south of me because you could see the lights. If I was on a higher area in the desert on some of these roads, I could make that out. And of course I could see the North Star. I knew my constellations. Anyways, I had dropped off this friend of mine who was a geologist at his trailer where he worked at a operating oil well and identified what type of rock that they had drilled into in the earth to identify whether it was oil bearing, whether it was going to be a hopeful well or a possible dry well. Anyway, so I went out. As he took me out there, he said, "Well, be careful, Scott." He says, "You're going to remember how to get back." And I said, "Well, yeah, I was making notes as I went." Well, as I turned around and headed back, after visiting with him for about 40 minutes, now it's about 4 o'clock in the morning, I found that I had left off one of the forks on these dirt gravel roads. I was lost for about an hour and a half, and I had traveled down rabbit trails, had a four-wheel drive van at the time, that dead-ended out in the middle of nowhere, just a little bit of sagebrush, a little bit of grass, rabbit brush. That's about it that was out there. Winding and twisting through these little arroyos, canyons. I was hopelessly lost. I knew which way I needed to travel because I could see the power plant lights and the North Star, and I knew that I needed to travel east to hit a highway which went down to this power plant, but I needed to go east then north to get back to town because I couldn't get there from here. I couldn't get home if I didn't go the correct way. Anyways, I got to an intersection, a fork in the gravel road. I had gone on two. I had 3 different directions I could go, and I really had no clue as what to do. I was figuring I was probably going to have to wait until sunlight, when maybe some of these oil field workers and trucks would go by. This is in the winter. It's about 30 degrees, clear night, and I figured I'm just going to have to sit here in the van until somebody goes by, and I'm going to have to ask directions. I saw no traffic at all the whole time I was out there. I was out there for about 3.5 hours. So I know that there's somebody around smarter than me, and that is God. And so I prayed. I closed my eyes and I prayed, and I asked my Heavenly Father, I said, I have no idea which way to go. Which way should I go? Should I go left fork, or should I go right fork over here? There's about 30 degrees difference between the two. And I had exhausted everything behind me. And I only had so much gas. Started out with a full tank. I had used up a fair amount of gas. I really didn't want to be lost or get stuck someplace. And I told him, I have no idea where to go. Will you please direct me, show me which way I should go? Well, as I'm sitting there, I hadn't sat there for more than a minute and a half. And I saw up here this meteor. And it was the largest meteor I've ever seen in my life. It was, if I was to extend my thumb, it was the width of my thumb, all right? It was the width of my thumb, extended up into the sky. and it streaked across the sky from behind me, and it went directly, I mean smack dab directly over this road to the right, this fork in the trail to the right. And as it went, it was flames. These flames were coming off of this thing. They were green and yellow and red and blue. And just as this thing streaked across the sky, it went to the horizon down this right fork. And then I was waiting to hear this, like, to see like a nuclear type explosion. I knew it was a meteor, because it was so large that it would hit. And I was waiting to see this big flash, and never happened. It must have gone on the other side of out of sight anyways. I sat there and I thought, wow, that is really some visual effect there. I have never seen a meteor like that. I was just marveling at the colors and the width and the size of it from my perspective. And I thought, wow, I sure wonder which road I should take. I realized I was lost. And I thought to myself, well, gosh, how would God answer my prayer? And it suddenly dawned on me, what do you need? This is like Heavenly Father talking to me. Well, what do you need, Scott? He says, you want me to put a sign up to say, hey, Scott, go down this here road on the right? It's like, duh, do I need neon lights? How about a frickin' meteor going straight down the road you're supposed to go down? I mean, what do I have to do to get through your thick skull? I thought, okay, hey, maybe he wants me to go, maybe this is an answer to prayer. Could it be? Nah, he's not there. He's not going to answer. He doesn't care about me. How could he possibly care about my little problems? How many billions of people on the planet, all his children? How could he possibly care? How could he keep track of that? He doesn't have time for that. Time? Give me a freaking break. Time? He doesn't exist in time. Only people on earth have time, or on worlds have time. It's not, he lives in eternity. There's no such thing as time. Everything's before him. All he has to do is turn his head, and you can see it. Everything's before him all the time. I drive down the road. Within 25 minutes, I hit the pavement where I came in from. I stopped the car, put it in park, turned off the engine. I got out, and I got on my knees out in the gravel. And I thank my Heavenly Father for showing me which direction to go. And I have had, don't tell me it's karma. All right, it's not karma. He answered my prayers. He answers prayers. He answers my prayers. And if he can answer a retard's prayer, an idiot like me, who's a sinner and who's very imperfect and stupid and does stupid things all the time and acts like an idiot sometimes, makes the wrong decisions left and right, okay, I'm nothing special, all right? But I am special to my Heavenly Father, and you are too. You are very special, and you are absolutely unique. There's no other child like you to God. You're unique. He knows us, and He loves us, and He will answer your prayers. He will. All you have to do is ask Him, and He'll answer, and be open. It might be a different answer than what your little puny brain thinks up, well, He should answer my prayer like that. You're like this. Well, no, it doesn't work like that. All right? Be open and accept the answer that you get. Sometimes it's no, and that's really tough. I'll tell you that story in a later time. Hey, stay hopeful. Remember that the easy path makes both men and rivers crooked. That's your thought for the day. Love you guys. Thanks for watching. I appreciate your comments. I really do a lot. Some of you guys are really sweet in your comments. You know who I'm talking to. I appreciate that. It makes it worthwhile. All right. Hey, thanks for watching. Have a great day. Bye-bye.